Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today, and I am accompanied already by Christy.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing okay. Still hopefully the donkey's behaving. I might
Yeah.
have to pop off and deal with a situation, but so far so good. Where he's
Well,
back in his normal pasture, just not with the usual goats.
oh, right. Yeah, you said he was totally being a donkey.
Yep,
So that is
totally.
cool. Not cool. We don't like that. Other
No,
than, other
go ahead.
than that, how's it going?
Well, it's tax time.
Oh, see, we did ours early this year. Like we had it filed super early. So I was super thankful for that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have to be. That's such an icky time of year too. I mean, it really is.
Mhm.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I I get it. Miss D, hello, Henny. Lord Kiss.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. Hey, Ben. Hey, Lord Kiss Freak. A Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
Hi. Who all we got here? Hi, Henny.
got some good
Howdy.
people joining us today. So I wanted to ask you, um, did you see Reese's live the other day?
I did not. I haven't had an extra moment to watch anything on YouTube the last at least 3 days.
Oh, well, I've
Except
been catching up on
except for there did start out a Farscape marathon,
it.
and
What's that?
so
Farscape? What's that?
Farscape is a sci-fi program that Steve and I watched years ago,
Oh, nice.
and, yeah, like, every once in a while, though, somebody'll do, like, a whole marathon of every single episode in sequence.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know how
fun.
they're doing it, but they're doing it, and, so any extra minute that I get, I'll turn on that
You're
and
turning that on.
fall asleep, and then yeah.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, the reason I brought it up is just because she's kind of going through some stuff right now. And um, it's some stuff that we've covered here on
Okay,
meeting and
okay,
as far as boundaries and stuff like that. And I
okay.
mean, she put it out on her channel, so I'm not like talking out of turn or anything.
Right.
Um, and so it just made me think of, how we've covered that before and how it's cool that we have those videos that people can go back and watch and, see what we said, like when Stasia came on and everything else. And so, if you guys haven't, maybe go give her some love, just show up in a live chat and let her know you're supporting her. It sounds like it's not easy.
Is it
So,
a current situation or a past situation?
yeah, no, so from what it sounds like, she is leaving her husband. It was
Okay.
like an unhealthy kind of situation. I'm trying to, like I mean, she said it on her channel, so like I know it's okay, but um, yeah, it was
It did
she's
a while back, she did indicate that there were some things that, she was having trouble with.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so sorry. Who are we talking about?
Reese,
relatable.
relatable
Okay.
Reese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think most people are, I think there's a lot of people that kind of cross watch and everything. But I just, I just wanted to, say if you haven't caught one of her lives, maybe go give her some love or, have some ones for her, you know, um, catch her stream where she kind of talks about it. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to be kind of tricky for her. So, um, just
Mm.
I think she can use a lot of love from a lot of
A lot of,
community.
yeah, some ones for Reese. Yeah.
And I'll reach
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So, but you know, I just wanted to kind of make people aware of
Hey,
that.
Matrix
So,
Rabbit. Yeah.
hey, so if you haven't, maybe go give the one from last night a watch. She kind
Okay.
of talked about
Last
it a
night.
little bit. Yeah, the one from last night. Give it a watch, you know, leave her a comment, something like that.
Right
Just I
on.
think she could just use some encouragement. I mean, I'm sure she's
Yeah.
gonna be just fine, but
Yeah.
you know, sending her love, I think is, as we know, you know, when you're going through something icky, it's just good to
Yeah.
have, you know, it's good to know that you're loved by a lot of different communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go give it a watch. She was kind of like my flame, to be honest, in triggering the whole I want to be that person again, because I was that bubbly person. I'm starting to get it back, but I
Right.
was that super bubbly, super open to a fault sometimes person. So I was like, I want to be that person again. So I've talked to her briefly back and forth, and I call her my flame. So I'm gonna try and give her a reach out and see what happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any of her information or anything other than just what I've seen on YouTube, but you know, I just because she mentioned it on her channel,
Yeah.
I just kind of thought, you know, we could say something over here and send her some love just through the community and you know, let people know.
Yeah.
But Ben, do you have your sound on? I see you giggling over there, but I don't hear you.
Lord Kistrig made this thing of him AI singing Karma Chameleon.
Yes.
See that?
Oh my gosh.
I did see one that Lord Kissfreak did, and it was hilarious. It was singing "I Will Survive."
Yes. Yes.
That one was good. But yes, looks like Lord Kissfreak's got time on his hands. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I
So
must admit, it was pretty good.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm gonna have to see it.
there you go. I shared it in Messenger. Awesome. Yes.
Okay.
Boy George in the George, my boy George in the Culture Club. Uh, remember that song when I was like, and that's one of those wormhole songs. You know, you hear it and it gets stuck in your head and it just stays. You know, ah, those wormhole songs. So, how's everybody in the chat doing?
Well, how's Stacia doing, and how's Ben doing too?
I'm doing pretty good. Made it out for another walk today because it was ridiculously warm. So these walks end up being like an hour and a half by the time that I get back.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and tomorrow's supposed to be really crappy and wet, like warm but wet. So I had asked the office today. I noticed that there was like yoga balls and yoga mats upstairs in the conference room. So it's just like, well, do you think I could borrow a yoga mat in like this room for an hour or so, when it's really yucky out, so I'm not getting soaked and muddy?
Right.
And they're just like, yeah, you just need to let us know when you're in there so that we plan meetings around it. That's all. So I think I'm going to try and start some wall Pilates tomorrow. I've been hearing great stuff about it.
I do wall Pilates and I love it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any videos that you use? Because if you do, please send them my way.
I will.
I've been meaning to send you those somatic exercise ones too. They're not nearly as strenuous as Pilates, but the plus side to that is you don't get sore like you do with that stuff.
I can tell you my legs are angry. My legs are very, very angry from this. I know it takes a couple of weeks, when you start getting back into like physical routine, it takes a couple of weeks, but my legs were very angry when I got back today. They're not so bad right now, but I was like walking around. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Just a little bit sore and stiff. That's all.
Epsom salt bath. Great for that. Yeah.
What I always found is if I got into an exercise routine that made me sore, it never stopped making me sore, so I would lose interest. I can't, if it makes me sore for more than a week, I'm done.
I was into physique bodybuilding for a while, and this was before Rowan. And I really badly want to get back to it, but my shoulder isn't quite ready to be lifting weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do like all the preliminary stuff and still keep up like the physio on the shoulder, the exercises that I know, because it is stronger.
Right.
It is stronger. It's not like, sometimes it feels like it'll pop out, but then like, I'm sorry guys, so like it'll pull down and then like pop back in. But that's getting way better because I've been like doing a lot of physio exercises on it, but trying not to overwork it because that's not going to do anything. So
Right.
I'm hoping the wall Pilates is enough.
It's pretty, I mean, it's a pretty good workout. You know, at first I was doing like the arm ones where you put them and you step back and you like, you know, lean up against the wall like that. And I was like, yeah, well, you do about 25 of those and then you feel it right back here and you're like,
Perfect.
"Ooh."
That's where I really need some work, is the back part of my arms.
Yes. So I do wall Pilates, yoga, and Tai Chi, and it all kind of like works together really nicely. Um, and then now here, I have a treadmill
Wow,
inside,
that's
so I
yay.
run on a treadmill. So no more. So y'all don't have to worry. There's no more running through serial killer neighborhoods and RV parks for me.
Oh, thank God.
That's good.
Where
That is very good. Very good.
in Baltimore.
Oh, goodness.
Be like, oh, you know, we seen her. And then we didn't.
Oh, God.
And how are you?
Lord Kissrick's video was really good. I have
Yeah.
to give it that. I was amazed. And I also just took, I think I already showed this. This is a lemon tincture. I don't know if you can read it, trying to get that camera to zoom in. It's 9 million Scoville heat units, which is about 8 million more than I can handle.
Oh,
And I blame, although I have the ability to say no. I still blame Lord Kissfreak because it's all his fault. He's trying to kill me. And yeah, about 2 drops will do me in. And this is
Well, he does egg you on a bit, so.
Well, you know how those Canadians are. I mean,
Oh, I know. If we can handle it, everyone can handle it. It's the mindset.
It's a plot. You, William Shatner, Michael J. Fox, you're all in on it. I get it. But had my blood drained yesterday, so I was feeling pretty good. So yeah, I thought I'd take a few drops of these, and yeah, that brought me back down to earth.
Oh my goodness!
My goodness!
I'm terrified to try those tinctures.
It's amazing. I've never would have thought there was such a disease where you have to get your blood drained every now and again. But
yeah,
it feels so much better, so much lighter. You almost feel normal again.
Wow.
Yes, I did. He was doing those Canadian Jedi mind tricks on me. It's all his fault.
Oh, right.
He says he has the ability to say no, but we're seeing there's an issue there a little bit.
Like I don't have the ability to walk into a Coach store and leave empty-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Just avoid Coach.
Oh, that's me in the mall. I should not go into the mall because I will spend money. So I just, avoid.
What happened? Oh, go ahead.
What happened? What?
Just gonna ask you.
What happened? What?
I was just gonna ask you how the tincture. So, like, you just put a couple drops on your tongue.
That's all I do. Tommy apparently drank a whole entire bottle of this. Just a couple of drops.
Gosh.
Yeah, it'll do me in. Well, Kiss Freak is much more into this than I was. Back when I was doing the peanuts 3 would just kill me. And he apparently does 3 all the time. He's much more further along than I am. Truth be told, I'm trying to get to the point where I can go down and get atomic hot wings at a local place here and not die. And I think I might be there. I'm not quite sure, but
well, hey, that's an awesome goal. And when you reach it, we can give you Mama's tiara and a wave.
Oh my god!
He hit his goal.
Well, yeah.
I think that's when you walk into a place and they're just like, "You need to sign a waiver if you want that."
It was my own it was my own damn fault, truth be told. But now it's a challenge. I went to a local place here, and we're a tourist trap or tourist town. I don't know what you want to call us. We get right off the interstate. We get a lot of tourists in here, especially going down to Tombstone and Bisbee. And as a result, all the food here is dumbed down. So I told these people, I want the hot wings, but I want them hot. I want them very hot. I want them extremely hot. I want them as hot as you can make them. And they came out and they gave me, you think you can handle these? And yeah, it killed me. But now I'm trying to get to the point where I can,
now you're ready.
I mean, it's a small goal, but I needed something.
I will never understand it. Never, ever.
Like why they eat those century eggs and make themselves throw up. And I'm sorry, all you Aussies out there, but Vegemite, or this Stroming or whatever. Like I don't understand it. And and then they talk about all these Scoville things, and it means nothing to me. I'm like, a little cayenne pepper in my flaxseed is about all I'm good for.
Cute.
It just burns a little fat and jumpstarts your metabolism. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I asked my doctor about it. She thought it was a good idea because exactly that. Hot stuff is supposed to help get your metabolism moving. It's also supposed to go along with keto extremely well, which now apparently I can get back into. So I'm so happy.
Good.
That Oh no.
Them's fighting words for Tommy Scoville. Fighting words.
I'm behind on the things. Oh, bless it! Aren't you special?
That's good. We do need a video of you saying all of your little things, Christy, just like one after the other.
Yeah.
Would be like, what is this weirdo doing? I'll have to send it to you. I did. Oh God, it was years ago on Snapchat. They had this little filter, and it looked like a little ferret or marmot or something. And I had a cold, so I had this raspy Janis Joplin voice, and I was like, I'm an animal. I've always been an animal. I'm so sexy. Michael died. He still has it on his phone. He like put it out on TikTok. I'm like, oh God. Send it so you guys can see it. It was and it was just this weird thing I did. I was bored in a parking lot. I think I was waiting for him. He'd gone into a store somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
Like 5 years old, and he is still playing.
When it's good, you got to keep it around.
See, I always like stupidly do good things. Like when I try, it doesn't really work that way. But when I'm not trying at all, it's
yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I do like that one. Oh, God bless you, or bless his soul, or whatever.
Bless your heart.
It came.
I resent the whole Southern bless your heart, or bless her heart, or bless his heart.
Oh.
Because my mama, when she said that, she meant bless your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she meant it through her core, and you felt it. Like one time we were in a doctor's office, and there was a sick kid in there with his mom, and and he was just crying and miserable. And I said, Mama, please tell him, bless its heart. Bless his heart. And she, and you know, because I felt as a little kid, that fixed everything.
Yeah. Well, and there's a nice way to say it and a very rude way to say it. And I think for me, you know, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, the shade
bless
part of
your
it.
heart. You know, like I really mean that. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really, but if I'm just kind of being sarcastic, I'll be like, well, bless it.
Yeah, and I really do like that because that came up after I don't remember if you remember the drama with one of Tara's streams. She basically had a bunch of people, a couple people, kind of pecking at her in the comments, and the problem I was having was I either had zero or floored as far as not anger, but my response. I was lacking the some of the more nuanced, things that you could say along the way. It's like if you want to be somebody to be an adjutant, I'm great at that. I'm really great at agitating things. But I was trying to, and I finally got something halfway out. But I was talking to some friends of mine that are a couple of them are neuroscientists and a couple of them are counselors, and they gave me all of these nice suggestions of how to handle it. And I'll be damned. Bless your heart was in most of them. They'd have all these little sayings. Every time I hear that, I always think of Christy. So
Yeah.
So how are you doing, Carol and Christy? I didn't quite catch the beginning, so if you guys mentioned how you were, I'm sorry if I'm making you repeat yourselves.
No.
Well, we're still working on Donkey being a good player with others.
Yep.
Still working on that.
I was thinking maybe a yoga ball because there's thicker plastic.
Yeah.
You can get the big ones.
If I get the really bouncy, lightweight ones, the puppies can just annihilate that in seconds.
Of course.
Maybe once you get him cut, that'll help a little bit. That'll
Yeah.
back down that testosterone a little bit, and he won't be quite so
Yeah.
donkish.
Oh goodness. Oh, so it's like watching a teenager all day, and let's stop fighting.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for it's one going after innocence.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
And animals can just be mean about it sometimes too. That's part of the reason why we had to get Mikey cut soon. I'm like, look, we need to stop this.
Yeah.
So
take the aggression down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your donkey situation will get resolved soon.
I'm hoping so. Yeah. I put him in a new pasture with new kids, and he was even worse. He played even worse with them. He had the little girl calf down, and she was half down a slope with her leg behind her, and he had her down biting her. And yeah. Petey, he the dog, the daddy dog, he just kind of rolled over on his belly and did nothing. But he got my nearly 300-pound pig to go cower in a corner.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't think anything could do that.
No.
I didn't think there was a thing in the world that could do that, but there is.
Yeah.
His name's Jet.
And his name is Jet.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe you should name him like Jet Blackheart, like Joan Jett and the Blackheart Runaways, like Blackheart. Give him kind of like a rock and roll bad vibe.
Goodness.
So hopefully we're through the worst of that. He's back in his normal territory, just with the different goats that don't go over on the neighbor.
Right.
The ones that don't need to be incarcerated?
Right. Those ones, yeah. The ones that don't need that, yeah.
The farm life, we're getting some good, little terminology. It's just like incarcerated goats.
Sometimes it is like you're a warden. I mean, you're like, hey, stop it. No, over there. Okay, we got to separate you two. What's going on?
For real. For real.
There's anarchy.
I would say I didn't sign up for this, but I absolutely did.
Yes.
Just didn't know what I was signing up for exactly.
Right. So.
There's a learning curve in everything, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Christy? How are you doing?
Good. So Michael got rained out today. So we went to the most amazing restaurant, and they had the best Mediterranean breakfast. I'm going to take a picture and post it because some of you were asking about Mediterranean food. This was quinoa, sun-dried tomatoes, clamato olives, feta cheese, spinach, eggs, pita bread. Oh my gosh.
Sounds really amazing.
So amazing. It was so amazing. And yeah, I took a picture of it and everything. I was like, we've got to show this because that's definitely something you could make at home, Quinoa can be a little tricky. If you cook it too long, it really can kind of turn into mush. So you do really have to follow the directions on that because you know me. I'm like, who needs directions? And it kind of yeah, it kind of turned into like mashed potato grits. I mean, it was not good.
It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a baby wouldn't even eat it. It was that bad. So after that, I was like, okay, this is one of those things.
Yeah.
But it was very good. It was very good, and it kind of made me I think about that and posting it. It had beets in it too. Beets.
Ooh.
It was really good. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was really good. And then I went and looked for a new phone. So I've got my new phone picked out. I've got to do some research on it. I think I'm going to go with the Moto Razor. It's like a flip. It's one of those flip over phones. So I'm going to try that and see how that works as far as pictures and camera, because that's really what I care about. I mean, anything I can kind of like text and call on, and I can buy more storage as long as it's got good video and photography.
Yeah, make sure it takes an SD card. That'll help you get instant storage.
I think it's got a place, but I mean, I was researching. It's a little bit more than I've ever paid for a phone, but it's really kind of cool. And I thought, that's kind of
does it have Chrome on it?
I think so. I know my Moto has Chrome on it if I want to use it. It's got all of that. So but I mean, I still have to research it and make sure that it's all, it's going to do everything I need it to do. But I think it will. So I'm excited about that. So we went like that and took the dogs for a walk, and then went and gave them baths, and so now they're clean buddy dogs, but they didn't like it. Sweetie just sits there and she just shakes. And, I'm like, it's okay, Sweetie, and I'm talking to her, and she does fine up until the dryer, and then she really doesn't like that part. But I understand it. Those dog dryers are big and they're loud, and so and then let's see. Let me see how I can the Razor flip phone is making me come back. Yeah, well, it's an unlocked phone, so it's not a brand new, like $1,500 phone or anything. Like, don't get too impressed.
It is a flip phone, though, right?
It is.
It's got a full screen and it just folds over.
The screen flips?
Yeah, it folds over. Okay. So it's like completely open, or it folds over and then it's just like tiny. So I'm very excited about it because it's small enough, and it kind of protects itself because
Yeah.
I am known for in the screen. I mean, oh, you guys.
I don't buy expensive phones for that very reason. Of course,
Yeah.
then I get them overheating when I'm trying to do Restream on the road.
Well, and I think there's a good balance. I mean, I personally have seen some prices of phones and I'm like, that's a pass.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, but I understand that there are people who love those phones and that's amazing, but I'm kind of excited to try this. And yeah, they don't all come unlocked here in the States. So you have to find specific phones that are unlocked and then get those phones because we're on we don't have a month-to-month contract. So we just pay like $60 and we have to buy our own phones outright. So it's nice because, our bill is the same every month and we've had good service. Cricket, there's only two phone carriers that work in Alaska, which is Cricket, and then their own kind of like state plan. So those are the only two: Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. None of them work out there.
Wow.
Really?
Will that
Yeah.
state one work other places?
No, because
Mm.
we looked into it because we had Verizon when we went to Alaska the first time. Well, the first time Michael went to the slope, they had phones and stuff like that. So, we didn't really have to worry about it. But when we got to Kenai the first time, our phones were not working. It wasn't picking up anything. It was atrocious. And that's when we found out they only have those two carriers. And because Michael does so much work in Alaska, there's no point in changing back to Verizon because then every
Right.
time you go to Alaska or you drive through Canada, you'd have to pay. And that's the other thing. When we drove through Canada with Verizon, we paid a pile in international roaming fees.
Verizon's the worst for roaming. The
Oh,
worst.
and
I've heard of people getting charged for roaming when they were just on borders within the border of the United States. It crosses over into a tower
yes,
across the border and they get charged
yes.
for roaming. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and it's expensive. And
Yeah.
but Cricket international roaming is included, so we didn't have to buy any additional roaming when we came back through Canada,
Yeah.
or the few times Michael's driven through there, we didn't have to pay for it. So, I mean, Cricket's not like.
I think roaming is a scam.
Mhm.
That's why I
Roaming
made sure I
charges
got
are
a
a
Canada
scam.
US plan this time because I'm
Yeah.
so close to the border that as soon
Mhm.
as I travel a little bit closer, it starts bouncing to the States. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not chancing all of these extra fees and stuff. I just made sure I
Yeah.
got lots of data. That's all. And the one day that I streamed when I was going to pick up Wee Man the last time, it took less than a gigabyte, and I got 60 gigabytes just to be safe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
I've got plenty. I might be able to drop that down a bit. I want to test it out for a couple more months still. Get
Okay.
the apartment because I want to be able to do some walking around, and if it comes to meeting time, just be like, oh, okay, hop on wherever I am.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and Cricket's been pretty good to us. It's no hassle. No problems, no anything. I mean, so yeah, because we were talking about that. We're like, well, we could go back to Verizon, and I was like, yeah, but you're gonna be in Alaska at least 3 times this year. He's gonna end
Oh,
up at the slope. So he'll end back up at the northern slope, so I won't be able to go with him up there. And then Kenai, I can go with him too, but still got to get there. So
What are you gonna do when you on the ones that you can't go with him on?
so it kind of depends. If we have our RV, I'll just find someplace cool and park the RV and stay there
Okay.
and do that. If not, what I've done in the past is like stay with my mom or stay with my friends, or it kind of depends on how long the job is.
Okay.
And kind of see. But yeah, I'd like to, if I could, like stay with my mom or maybe even, just
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah. So that's usually, there's not too many jobs. I think the slope is the only job that I've ever not been able to go with him on. But they're just pretty, um, they're sticklers about it. I mean, everything up there, they're really particular about. Because they're
Okay.
close to the Arctic Circle, so they have to, the roads, they don't have actual paved roads, so they have to drive on like ice roads or snow roads, and they can't disturb the tundra. Like there's a lot of
Oh.
environmental stuff in line. Yeah. And
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why everything is contained. That's my understanding anyway. So that's why everything's
Okay.
contained, is so that there's less disturbing the wildlife in the tundra and, like preserving all of it.
So are you
Yeah.
talking up in Prudhoe Bay, or do you know where in
Yeah.
Alaska? Okay.
Yeah. It's past Prudhoe Bay. So it's in
Mm,
Kaparik. Yeah.
okay.
So he's like, when he was up there before, I think it was like 50 miles from the Arctic Circle. I mean, he was like right there. Um, but it's also nice because, on the other hand, you're not paying for hotels or food,
Yeah.
You could park your RV on our place for free.
Hey, I do that. That would be fun.
We've got a outlet. We've got a little place where you can pull up and an outlet you can plug into, and
So much fun. Hey, and I know how to
yeah.
build fence. We could build you a fence. You and I. We could build a fence.
I know how to build fence. It's just hard ass work.
Yeah.
Well, we could do it. Girl power.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a video of this. Like,
Mm-mm-mm.
See a video of it too. He'd be like, "Oh, really? Okay." I did one time though help my friend roof a barn. So like
Okay.
it's kind of amazing the stuff I can do. She goes, "Hey, can I hire you to help me roof this barn?" And I'm like, "Sure. I don't know how to do it." And she's like, "It's all right." So she took me to the Tractor Supply. We got boots and everything I needed, and we roofed that barn in Kansas in like August. It was
Mm.
oh
not,
my,
Oh my gosh. Woo.
but we got
that
it
would
done.
be so hot.
Oh, it was really hot, but we got it done. So, yeah, I'm good labor.
Lord Kiss Freak says it would be a hobbit-sized freak fence. Hobbit-sized fence. Let's see if I can get that one to come up.
So it would just be like boing, boing.
Too much for keeping them in.
Right? Michael, we were talking about something and he looked at me today and I go, "I'm resilient." And he goes, yeah, hobbits are pretty resilient. Yeah. Hey.
Oh my
Farscape
goodness.
is good. After Zan is no longer part of it, it completely changes in tone and everything. But yeah, up until Zan, it turns out that she had to leave because the makeup that they had her in, the blue. She was a blue plant species, and the whatever it was that they were using to make her up was making her.
Oh.
Otherwise, she would never have left that role.
Oh wow.
Oh.
I did like Ben Browder and that crew on Stargate SG-1.
Stargate, yeah. When they closed the Farscape, both Claudia Black and Ben Browder just went over to Stargate. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
SG-1's one of my favorites.
Yeah, mine too. I have not been able to bring myself to watch Universe.
I tried 2 episodes and I was just like, this is not SG-1. And then I kind of like stopped watching it.
And I could get into the other ones a little bit just on their own merit, not necessarily. If I can separate it from being a Stargate thing, then I can watch them. The Atlantis one, and what's the other one?
I
There
think
was
it
another
was
one.
there was just SG-1 and then Atlantis, and then they had Universe. What was it?
Feels like there was one more.
They had some movies.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but the universe one. I can't get into it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
I'm
sun
Googling
poisoning
it.
tearing off my brother's roof. Oh,
Oh,
that sounds terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sun
That's not.
poisoning. Gosh, that sounds like that could be deadly.
Oh, Stargate Origins.
Yes. Yes. And that
It
one
was
I
going to
didn't get
bother me,
into.
sorry.
But
Oh.
but
Funny noises happening.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Michael's
what?
taking Michael's taking
Oh,
a shower. I was like, what is? I just heard some really weird random noise. He's watching a movie, so I think it was probably like something from the movie, but it was enough that I was like, that doesn't.
well, Shelf, there's somebody that has Farscape Farscape marathon going on live on YouTube right now.
There is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be a tonight thing then.
Yeah. I've
I got
not
to chill out before the lawyer's appointment tomorrow.
I've just been able to put it on and have it be as either kind of a background thing or going to sleep to it. But yeah,
Come over here. You leave her food alone.
I caught a few seconds of that, Henny. It looked really good. Yeah, it looked really good actually. With the four, he was on that panel.
Surviving the
other
Survivor.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was really impressed with it. I really, really was. Some of the questions too, just the way that the host was going, like asking the additional questions. I was like, okay, this is going a little bit deeper and farther and making it a little bit funnier. This is great. Because it's a topic that you do need to find some levity in, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, and it's good when you can find that, you know.
Woo! Huge swollen legs, almost to the point of splitting. It sounds painful. Sun poisoning. I have had sunburn that made me physically ill, like almost like flu type symptoms.
I used to roof for a while in Arizona here. And the thing we'd always do is start roofing 4 o'clock in the morning, and you just haul until 10 or 11. Then you have to stop for the day.
Yeah, because you're done by noon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it was. I mean, we'd start early, and then we were done by noon, and then we'd go back in the evening. And when it kind of cooled off, which never really cools off in Kansas, but yeah. So I do have
Ms.
something.
D, I don't know what STS. I don't know what that is.
Surviving the Survivor.
Surviving the Survivor.
You do have something, Christy. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm gonna have to be very vague about it, but I've got something I'm really excited to share with you guys. So I have my first interview lined up for my channel. It's gonna be big.
Exciting.
Cool.
So I'm excited. So when it gets closer, I will definitely announce. But I came up with a list of like jumping off point questions and sent them over, and I'm waiting to kind of hear back. And so it should be really good, and I'm very excited. So, and
Cool.
of course there's going to be like travel stuff on there too, and little. I'm going to do like some guided meditations, just probably not with my face, just with like a nice calming screen and maybe some music or something in the background. So it's going to be a lot of really cool things. But what I'm most excited about is my interviews. I really want it to be like organic and just kind of like having a cup of coffee with a friend, but really like, oh, there's a new interview that drops, let's go check it out kind of thing. I've got another thing kind of planned. I'm stealing it from another channel, but this other channel does a thing called a gossip before bed, and they just get in their jammies, and it's not a live interactive thing. She records it and then goes on it's on the channel. It's called the Vintage Read if you want to check it out. But anyway, she does something that's really cool. So they all get in their pajamas and they come with their like tea and everything, and they just kind of like, she talks to the camera like she's talking to everybody. Mine would be live, but I really want to do something like that. So I really want to make it fun. I want to do a little bit of true crime and, you know, just kind of, I want to make it overall inclusive so that whatever conversations it fits. No, it's not. Especially when I'm like, you know, because I probably would be doing it in the morning and I have no makeup on, and I'd be like, take a deep breath.
Oh goodness. You might be able to like figure out some of that AI stuff and like AI some of the backgrounds and things that you want.
Oh, there you go. Hey, that's a good idea. I've got to, I want to, I really, so this first interview, I really want to like blow it out of the water and really do a really good job and have it set the tone for everything. And I don't want to just like, I want to interview all different kinds of people, you know, so not just, you know, YouTubers and stuff like that, but just, you know, normal everyday people who have interesting stories. And I just want it to be kind of like a fun channel to connect, you know, so yeah, so, but I'm excited. So
Sounds
I wanted
great.
to, yeah,
Yes.
That sound right. Yeah.
to share that with
What
you
what
guys.
you're able to share, yeah.
Yeah. So once it gets more, you know, fleshed out and I know for sure, and I can announce it. I'll announce it here. I'll tell the other people. I'll be like, you can't say anything until I say something.
Right on.
Perfect.
So anybody have any yoga questions? My other's keeper is interviewing a yoga instructor on Sunday.
Oh,
I don't know
great.
what I would ask a yoga instructor.
Yeah, Misha,
I
hello.
don't know.
I don't either.
Running to pick up my
The
phone.
first time I did yoga, I got stuck in a position. The instructor had to actually help me up. I stretched a little bit too far. So I might have some like, I don't ever want to do yoga again because of that.
I can appreciate that. Definitely.
Yeah. So I'll avoid for a while. We'll do some of the wall Pilates first because apparently that helps a little bit with mobility as well. So I'll get some mobility back and then maybe some yoga, but not alone because I'm afraid I'm going to get stuck in a position and not be able to get out of it. Right?
That's not funny, but it is funny.
It's hilarious. What are you talking about? I'm laughing at myself.
My foot is stuck above my head. What do I do?
All of a sudden, everybody gets a video call. Please help me. Everybody, like, brainstorm. How do I get out of this?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Haney wants to know, can you sit and do yoga? Yeah, why not?
Not all positions are like these really intricate, weird, well, I don't want to call them weird, but like these intricate, you start with beginner, it's really pretty, you know, pretty good. I know I hurt my back once and I did yoga for like having a hurt back, and it really helped. I mean, I was able to walk around after that session. So,
Wow.
you know, it can definitely be very helpful as long as you don't get stuck.
I think I got like overzealous. They're like, here's the beginner position, and then here's the little bit more advanced, and here's the super advanced. And I was just like, I've been doing good. All the other positions, I can do the semi sort of advanced, and then got stuck.
Hi, Misha.
Speaking of stuck,
How are you?
oh my gosh. Y'all, I have been trying for like the last hour and a half to just get on to be able to be here.
Really?
I am
Oh,
so tired of
really?
technology. So I think I just come on here because I want somebody to just tell me, you're pretty and everything will be okay. Stroke my head a little
You're
bit.
beautiful.
You're
Everything will be
beautiful, and everything's going to be okay, Misha.
just
Yeah.
fine.
You are a good person, and so
Yeah.
good things have to be coming your way.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to hate the fact that I used to be seen and not heard. And that it was all about, and I used to fight against that. And now I'm like, I wish that I could just go back to that and just let them tell me to just sit there and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Because it's so
Mhm.
stinking stupid. And I hate
Yeah.
that word, but it really is.
Yeah.
I was feeling very inadequate.
Well,
So I'm here now.
Aw. Yeah,
oh,
I understand that.
yeah.
I do.
I got zucked today.
What's that?
I got zucked.
Yeah.
I got
What's
zucked
that?
into chaos. Zuckerberg decided that he was going to play a prank on everybody in the world and turn down Facebook and Instagram. And I so totally destroyed my computer, my profiles, my desktops, my everything. I mean, password. And I have this really bad thing about remembering things these days. Nothing makes sense. And so to have that happen, yeah, it threw me in total chaos.
Now, help me understand what being zucked is. I don't understand.
So-
He pranked us, and Zuckerberg is the starter of
Yeah, I
Facebook.
know who he is, but what did he do?
Oh, it was just a down power site thing, but it was just my cute
They
way of
just
trying to
shut it
be.
down.
I was just trying to be cute, Carol.
Oh, okay.
So Facebook was down for a while this morning at the end of 10 o'clock in the morning, my time. And it took about 2 or 3 hours for it to come back up where I am.
Well, it
And
took about 2
I
or
was
3 hours
freaking out too. I'm like, did I get hacked? What's happening? I messaged Mandrew and I'm just like, what is a good antivirus? Because I feel like I got hacked. And he's like, no, Facebook's down.
Yeah, it got a lot of people. But I even put a whole thing up on
Oh,
Facebook. I'm like, y'all, I've been hacked. Don't do nothing. If I send you something, don't look at it. Just stay away from me for a little bit because I'm hacked. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
that's what. Okay, because Dally sent me a message asking if she had been hacked, and then I seen you, Misha, had something, and I was like, "What's going? 2 people that I know? Am I the problem?
Right.
Did my phone do
I am
something?"
so glad I wasn't
And
trying
then,
to go on Facebook then. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh, man.
yeah.
I'm really bad about doing that.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, it's
Shame on
not.
him for doing
Yeah.
that.
Really?
I wonder if
Like,
he's going to
that's
get
something
sued
that
or
could
anything for
result.
that.
I
No,
was
'cause he's
literally
done it.
mid-conversation when it happened. I was like, what is happening right now?
Right.
Oh no.
It happened before several times. And it's honestly, it's not his fault, I don't guess. I'm going to take the blame off of him. But it's just my way of handling it for now is I'm just blaming it.
Right.
But
Okay.
I mean, it happens. Sites go down. But for me,
Yeah.
used to, I would be able to, okay, well, let's look at this. It's down. So we'll go to the website checker because there is a website checker. You can check to see if there's anything down.
Oh,
And I could have done
okay.
that if I were in my right mind.
It didn't show for an hour though, Misha, in all fairness. I had checked it right away when I thought I got hacked, and it didn't show for about an hour that Facebook and Instagram were down.
Just another reason I love you because that helps me a lot.
Well,
Really.
it's one of those things. Next time you'll remember. But yeah, it is amazing how easy it is to get that cat brain thinking for you, and then your frontal cortex loses all ability. You just kind of react like a cat or like a bird.
Like a squirrel and not the pretty kitty swirl.
Aw.
Like I had ants
Yeah.
crawling all up my entire body, through my bloodstream, everywhere, saying, "Blah, you're never gonna get it back. Blah, you're never
Aw.
gonna do it right. Blah, 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 blah. This is why you can't do that."
Oh,
Pitiful.
that's just mean.
It's
I'm
pitiful.
sorry.
And it shouldn't have gotten me that way. And so that's the reason I'm upset. But it's just
Right.
everything in my life is so chaotic. I need to get it to just
Yeah.
stop.
I get it. When you're on overload, just one more thing just sends you over.
Yeah, like that
I
picture I
get
have
it.
right there where she's walking on the tightrope on top of the flames and she's got the knives and she's juggling them. That is like my 7 now. And it
Wow.
used to be just another one of my funnies. I need to stop making funnies because I think I'm creating.
Well, it
Um, I just wanted to say, hey, Grace Twinkletop,
Yes. Hello,
glad
Grace. Welcome.
that
I love
you're
her.
not lurking and you said hi. I love that. Love your name.
Yeah. Lurkers are, of course, welcome anytime.
We love
And we
lurkers.
love it. I love that you're saying hello.
Yes.
And we send love right back to you.
And I made a picture today that would go perfect for
Right
her.
on.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did today. Is I did some pictures because I was all upset and couldn't do nothing else. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do some pictures.
Right on.
There you
I
go.
love your artwork.
Yes,
it's I could never draw stick figures where you couldn't even tell they were stick figures if I was trying to make a stick figure. But I love words, and it's ironic because I'm losing my words now. And so that sucks, but I'm able to still with this thing. I mean, I just put in my words. It's like journaling. And what I see in my head 70% of the time comes out somewhat close to it. And it's a really beautiful
Right
thing.
on.
And I was so scared of it. Y'all, though, I found probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing testing with AI. I was helping to, train it, and that kind of thing, which was really interesting. But I was always scared of it. And I did my research. And if you're scared of something, you take the power away by seeing what it is. And so I did.
Right.
I got to understand and I got to learn. And I actually found a letter that I had written to the AI. His name was like Fred or Roy or something at the time. But anyways, we were supposed to write a letter to them telling them what we thought. And I told them everything. I was like, I've been looking forward to the day that you come, but with dread, it was just kind of neat because I actually got to read what I'd written and thinking back now how scared I was at that time. And now how I'm starting to embrace it. It's kind of neat,
Right
so.
on.
what you were talking about earlier, excuse me. There was a fire not too long ago in England. It was in a restaurant, and what they found was most of the people who died in it died of smoke inhalation. The reason why they died, they sat there waiting to pay the check. So it's something
Oh my
that
goodness.
people get locked into scripts sometimes, and it's hard to break out when you're so used to something becomes such a habit, like logging on to Facebook. If you're into social media or other things, it can become such a habit. It's hard to break that script to diagnose it. So don't be too hard on yourself. It's just next time.
Yeah.
Next time you'll know.
Yeah.
And it stuff
Ben,
like that happens.
I got to say something. I have to tell you this right now. You're a genius. Ben. Carol too, but Ben, that's awesome that you would actually put that there. That is so sad that happened. But my gosh, what a lesson. You are so correct.
Yeah.
We get so stuck in our dadgum complacency too.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and there was a study they did here in the States. Oh gosh, it's not that long ago. I have to look for where the results are posted. They did the same thing, except it was simulated, but they had, smoke. Normal people, they couldn't tell. They see smoke, smoke machine. But they had to where people were in the room, and they just hired a couple actors that just sat there when everybody entered the room. Then the smoke billowed in, the smoke alarms were going off, and everybody just sat there because the two actors who were in the room before them sat there.
Ooh.
And it elapsed to, they timed it, and it was like 12 minutes or something like that, or 7 minutes maybe. It was 7 to 12 minutes, somewhere in there, where they found that if you're going to die of smoke inhalation,
that's the time limit on it. That it would happen.
Yeah, and they were just trying. It was just a neuroscience thing, but still, stuff like that is interesting. How easily we can be affected by things that we're not always aware of. So
Right.
Or
I
remember how other people's actions can influence us like that. If there's smoke going and someone's just sitting there, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is.
It makes sense.
You can find some silly ones on YouTube. There was one where they just had the same setup, actors. They brought a new guy in. I think he was applying for a job, or I can't remember what he was doing or how they got this person in this room. But every time a bell would ring, everybody would stand up, and he'd just kind of
Dentist office.
it'd ring again, and it'd sit down. And after a while, he started doing it. And then they were able to slowly filter all the actors out. And after a while, everybody in the room, no actors, everybody in the room was doing it every time the bell would ring. And there was no explanation. They would just, every time a bell would ring, everybody would stand up. And it's
You
like,
witness it enough. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times we don't give ourselves permission to have confidence. And that's really what we need to learn to do, is just give ourselves permission. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
realized how many people I talked
And go
to
away from what
through
society
Facebook, and I was like, no, I need phone numbers now. Nuh-uh.
Right.
You know,
But there was that panic too. There was a great
too.
big panic of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was that?
I had it.
Today, whenever everything went down, I had such a
Oh,
panic.
okay.
because-
Okay.
I had full on
Yeah,
panic
'cause,
too.
you know-
Yeah, I was like, where am I going to be able to get a hold of my people? I don't have phone numbers now because I rely on
Exactly.
Facebook and Instagram so much. Now
Yeah.
everybody after today are going to start like getting messages on Facebook being like, look, I have like Canada US plan. No, you're in the US, but now I need your number because I had a panic
Right.
attack just because Facebook went down.
You know,
And that's
I
the
bet you
scary
weren't
thing.
I bet you guys weren't alone. I bet you
Yeah.
guys were not
Oh.
alone.
Can you imagine how many, people with really serious anxiety or, who need to have like a certain order of things, how that must have affected their mental health
Yeah.
today?
Yeah.
Raising hand
Yeah.
right here.
And really, I would imagine that social media is also an addictive substance. I'm going to just put that out there.
it is.
Oh yeah.
And and who knows what I've seen some videos of parents taking technology away from teenagers and how just insanely they react.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it makes
it's
sense.
bad.
There's a lot of aspects to it that makes sense. But also the aspect of when you're trying to get your equilibrium anyway,
Right.
Mhm.
and something like that, just another thing to throw you off balance,
Mhm.
And it's so absolutely true. It really is. And it's scary. Like a couple of days ago, I was out of cigarettes. And it was like the day after, ironically enough, that we were talking about cigarettes. And so it was even worse insult to injury because I'm like, oh, really? You're really going to do this? And I was so horrible. I tried to sleep the whole day. I could not people at all. I could not face my world because I was so
Yeah.
addicted to a substance yet again
Yeah.
that I could not face the world because I couldn't even think. And whenever I had my first cigarette after that fact, oh my gosh, I was almost got a little bit of a feeling because it'd been like all day since I'd had one. And so whenever I inhaled that thing, ooh wee, like head change for reals. That is something that I have got to start being more focused on and more aware. And yeah, I really had never even considered quitting until that day that we were on here and we were all talking about it. That's what made me think maybe I really do because I just given up. I'm like, I'm too weak. I can't do it.
Right. So how is that going, Misha?
Oh, I've got a cigarette I'm fixing to light up right now. So I'm not perfect in any way, but at least the thought of it is a lot more than what I'd had. And so being aware and being mindful, I think is going to help.
I
If
think
not,
so
I
too.
don't like what I
Certainly
went
can't
through.
hurt.
Mm-mm. I don't like being that. I don't like the needing to sleep away my day. There's too much to do. So
Well,
Yeah.
I like the harm reduction thing though. Like
Yeah.
harm reduction, it makes sense to me. So I mean, cigarettes aren't great, but it beats the alternative. You know what I mean? So if
yes.
you have to have a cigarette, then okay. And when you feel strong enough, then do it. And if that's just where you stay. That's where you stay, you know? I
Right.
mean, like, I don't
Yeah.
mean to sound like not hopeful for you, but you've come a long way. And the fact that, it was a pack of cigarettes versus something else, that says a
Yeah.
lot, you know?
True.
I mean,
Although
especially with
cigarettes are,
everything.
Mhm.
those are the worst things in the entire
Yeah.
world. I mean, I've quit a lot of stuff, a lot, and those are the ones that have always remained. But again, it goes to what Ben was saying about habits too,
Well, I've
because
heard that those are very difficult to quit, though. Like, in all fairness, I have heard that those
Yeah,
are
they
really
are.
tough to quit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just because you've quit other things, like this could be a much more difficult thing to quit,
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
So that's why you have sport, because I really think that isn't it one of the harder things to quit? Like,
Yeah.
even harder
They
than the H word?
some studies rank it with right up there with heroin.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
who was it? Was it Tommy
Mhm.
that was saying because you're constantly wanting because you're oh, what did he say? How did he put it? Something like you're
Not comfortable in your own skin, and you're
that.
trying to find a way to be comfortable in your own skin. Is it that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Um, and
Or
Okay.
it's like your hands
well, see,
your
okay, the
hands
reason I
busy.
started smoking, I will let you know, it was 2 blocks away from where I sit right now is where I started smoking, believe it or not. I was 16 and I was the only person at the Pizza Hut because that was my first job. I was the only person that didn't smoke. And here's Misha, overachiever, and I'm going above and beyond everything I do anyways. And every single person there got breaks. And I was working like 5, 6 hours where they were working too. And they were all getting breaks. And I'm like, forget this. Just because y'all smoke, well, guess what? Here we go. Light them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And from then on, yeah. And that was my break. That was how I take my like time because I'm very time
Right.
like stupid. I don't know time at all. And I'm using that word a lot today, I'm noticing. But I'm
Yeah.
very not aware of time. And so that's how I
You know,
like keep a handle on how long it's been. If I've had a cigarette, then okay, well, if I'm ready for another one, it's been about okay, it's been so implemented into my life. It's really
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
pitiful.
Yeah.
Pitiful.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and it is. It's like a companion in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
It accompanies you on certain things that you come to rely on.
Carol, that is so
Mhm.
true. For real, because out of everything, Jesus, of course, but I avoided him for a long, long time. But the cigarettes have always been there since I was 16. My doctor, when I got pregnant with Sam, told me, and this was my out for this. He says it would be harder for you and your body and the baby for you to quit right now than it would be for you to just slow down. So, in my mind, and 27 months later, I had my third child. Well, it would just be too hard. I didn't have any time in between to stop. It was just straight up pregnant. And so, if anything were going to make me quit, you would think it would be pregnancy. No.
Yeah.
Jail. No, I just found a way to make them out of greens. You know, I mean, I had menthol and non-menthol. What do you want?
I gotta say and I'm not, please know I am not making light of this. I am just amazed at how inventive people get
Oh
in jail and prison. I
Mhm.
have
Christy,
heard
let me
some
tell
things
you.
that I'm like, I would never think of that. So I
Mhm.
mean um very creative and inventive.
Very.
I just it's so and please know I'm not making light of it. I just some of the things I'm like,
No, I'm like,
oh,
make the best of what you got. And that was my life for a little bit. The, I never got to where I had to stay there for too long. It was probably about 6 months, I think was the longest that I was there. And I never went to prison. Whew, thank God, but I was there
Thank
and I
God.
saw a lot. And there was a lot of tweakers was bad at that time. And there was a lot of tweakers. And I'm telling you that
Yeah.
tweakers are the most ingenuitive people because you are constantly trying to figure out how you can fix it. I never got out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
know.
because that drug, it releases so much dopamine at one time, the first time you take it,
Hmm.
that your brain prepares for it the next time, and you never get that much of a release of dopamines again. It's
That's
a
why they call it
very
chasing the
cruel
dragon.
addiction. Mhm.
Chasing that old
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah.
I'm finding that in a lot of other things in just regular daily life too, though, that we're dealing
Yeah.
with, just like the dopamine of getting likes,
Yeah.
getting,
Yeah.
and they do it on purpose. They actually, there's where the Facebook higher up admitted that they've done the research and they knew what it would be, how people would act, and they withdraw. Sometimes they hold back your likes. Sometimes they hold back your messages
Wow.
on Instagram as well. They hold that back
That
because
is
they know
that
any
is
time to
just
do it.
ooh,
It's
there's some
so
insidious there,
yeah.
to me.
And that has happened to
Very
so many
much
of us.
so.
We have become slaves and not even realizing it to this technological world. Look at me. I mean, I'm just now starting to calm down because I've been with y'all. It was horrible. And I like to think
Yeah.
that I'm pretty
Yeah.
smart on this stuff, that I've known about it for a long time and done my research. I should be immune to it, right? No.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
It just goes to show that, we all have those things. And social media, I think, is a very big one for people. And so yeah, when they mess with that, it really causes a lot of stress. And and again, smoking is one of those things that's a lot of people still do it. It's
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm just proud of you that it's that and not something else,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I
yeah,
Yeah, give
yeah,
yourself
take
some
credit for that.
credit for
or,
that, Misha,
Well, I
you
can't
know?
because honestly, if it were still around the way that it was, if that stuff was still around, I probably would still be. I'm not gonna lie, especially with everything that has
Oh,
happened. So that's a
yeah,
blessing,
okay.
honestly, but I can't take credit for it. That's just
Well
it is what it is kind of thing because yeah,
well, I'm just happy that you are
me too.
not wrapped up in that part of
yeah.
life
Me
because that's no way to live.
No,
That's a
I would be
terrible, cruel way to live. It is.
yeah, I wouldn't even be here probably if that were the case because it's
Yeah.
that detrimental. It
Yeah,
really is. So,
I'm glad you're here though.
me
I am
too.
too.
Me too. I'm like, I'm stroking
Yeah.
my head right now. I'm saying, "You're pretty, Misha. Everything's okay."
You're pretty, Misha. Everything's okay.
Oh, I fought that for so long, and now I'm like, I wish I could just go back to that.
Hmm.
But
Well,
Well,
but do you though? Really? If you really stop and think about it though?
no, but at days like this, I do. It's
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
like if
enough.
I could just go like in that moderation, I think I'd
Yeah.
go. But I don't know if she's on here or not. My other's keeper, but Kim, she was doing an interview the other day with her sister about adoption, and I had a
Yeah.
really good
Okay.
opinion. I really did. Um,
Right on.
all of my not wanting to do anything and my fears and my freezing up with everything, my with the SSA and with the, all these things that I need to be doing. And I just had such a fear and I didn't understand why it all of a sudden went this way. But she was talking
mhm,
to her sister and they were talking about it. And I'm like, there sometimes people are given their information and sometimes they're not. Sometimes people have to fight for it. Everything in my life, I've
mhm,
always had to fight and never been able to get anywhere with it because the aboves, the ones in charge, would always have my information and they would never give it to me. And then it
Mm-mm.
started happening with Social Security. It started happening with DHS. And so I understand this correlation now that that's where the freeze comes from. It comes from all the way back, everybody else can have your information, but you're not allowed. And that's what's caused the freeze. The attorneys wouldn't tell us why they just dropped Bradley's case, why they didn't care, why they wouldn't do this, someone else was known after the second time.
Can't hear you.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah. You're back.
yeah, you
You're
were.
back.
Okay.
You're back.
But yeah, that's a lot of it, I think, is the whole powerlessness. And so the
Right.
one thing I can control is I can step back on my heels and not do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't. But my little mind is telling myself that. That's the one thing you can control. That'll show them. Just don't do it.
Mhm,
This is an interesting thing that Kristen's saying about the power of addiction, but especially nicotine addiction. While walking my dog today, saw a half cigarette on the side of the road. I have not smoked since October 2013, but I still thought about grabbing it for a split second. Isn't that
You know,
something? That's,
and you know,
that's over
all
10
morbid.
years. And that's, yeah. Yeah. It'll just slap you from back behind the head from out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's addiction
Yeah.
anywhere, but I think nicotine's
Yeah.
probably would be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look at, I had what, 14 years clean before I went back
Yeah.
this last time.
Yeah.
And I thought I was all good. That's why I say constantly, I will always be an addict. Whether I'm in
Yeah.
active or recovery, I will always be an addict and always have to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Cosmic.
Hi.
Christy. Hi, love.
Everyone. How are you?
How are you?
I'm trying to diet, eat a coffee. Still got that going.
Oh.
Everything's pretty all right.
Ooh.
Sorry, I can't help it. So it's a
I
me
know
all
it.
day, every day, even when I'm sleeping thing. So
Wow.
I just want to pat you on the back.
I
Yeah.
need to be beaten on the back.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, everything's all right. So it's a bit late today, so I have to go back and watch the first part because my son started work a bit later today. So yeah. But yeah, everything's all right.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Although Jared is meant to come this afternoon to pick up the rest of his stuff.
Oh, for real? You think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I've been through this so many times with so many people.
I know.
So
I know.
they just drag it out. I just want it to be over. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll just put everything in the garage. It doesn't even have to come inside.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good
Mhm.
option.
That is a good option.
Yeah, 'cause you just rip the
Yeah.
Band-Aid over and over and over again and not letting anything heal otherwise.
Yeah. So
You're backwards
is.
today, though, Christy.
am I?
No.
You are.
This is the
Does
way I
she
always
normally
say.
go the other way?
No, this is I get flipped when it's on the replay thing. So
Okay.
generally.
Interesting.
For me anyway, I get flipped. Yeah. So but I think this is I don't know how to change it. I just plugged it in and it works. Done.
It's good to see you, though. I miss
It
you
is good to
guys.
see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And Ben over there is looking something up. Look at him, looking
I
all
know.
serious. His glasses.
Oh,
Well, what's going on there? Let us in on it.
me?
You know,
Yeah, you. Yeah.
No. I'm just trying to look up something.
Couldn't be. Says who? Not me. Sorry, I had
No,
to continue that.
Good. Lord Kiss Freaks will be always-
I did the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
That's like that Jelly Roll song. How does it go? One drink away.
I'll always be one drink away from being drunk, said the seventh son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always so terrified of that first drink because I did not know where I would end up at the end of it. 2 weeks later, a month later, I didn't know,
What was
and
that
in some
saying?
ways that's kind of messed with me, the
Mhm.
not knowing part. But, it's just not a chance that's worth taking. Ultimately,
Well,
is where I end up. But I tell you, it's getting there sometimes, for
Yeah.
sure.
That I think it's AA says it like one drink's too many and 100 drinks is not enough or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
I may have messed that up.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 So,
Well, how powerful that first drink is.
Yeah.
well, you kind of think, because I've been through this so many times, because I didn't have a very easy journey. The first drink is a letdown because you're like, I'm doing this to myself again, For
Yeah.
me, that's how I felt. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
doing it to myself.
Yeah.
No longer can I say this is because of somebody else, because he wasn't there. So I did it anyway, even though it's my triggers are my situation and environmental factors. They're always going to be there. So
That's
there's
right.
always going to be something. So if I
That's
keep
right.
using it as an excuse, then
Right.
that's always going to be an excuse. So, and I'm
That's
not saying I don't eventually want to be able to have like a nice glass of wine with dinner or champagne to celebrate birthdays with friends. It's just I don't want to be reliant on it.
You know, I mean, there's, you know, I would love to be able to do that too, but I don't think I don't know. I don't have enough confidence that it can be that way for me, that I can just walk away, you know, and just not even think about it from that one
Well,
glass of wine. I mean, that's just me,
yeah.
you know.
I've
Well,
given
and
it
Christy,
up.
what you said too is when you said that the first drink, you know, then after that you're just let down with yourself. That's me with whenever, you know, anything that I do, that's me. And the guilt, I punish myself from there on out. And so it's a sick, twisted little, like, it's the Ouroboros factor to where I do it because, oh crap, I can. Why not? Because, you know, I can handle this. And then after that, then I'm like angry at myself. And so all these things are, is I'm giving myself reasons and excuses. Well, I'm not so much even. It's my addiction is. And I'm listening to that addict saying, well, then went and did it. What? You can't hear me?
Yeah, you faded
I
out.
just sort of faded out. Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, it's like the Ouroboros, you know, it's, you have this, well, I can do it. I've got this. I can go ahead and drink, or I can go ahead and do whatever. And then after that, you're like, well, crap, you done went and did it. And so now you're going to punish yourself for it. And so
Yeah,
the addict inside is constantly telling me all these things, and
yeah,
silly me listens to it, knowing better because I know what a hateful heifer she is,
right.
you
Well,
know,
see,
but I
that's
still
where
listen. And that guilt.
That's where what?
oh, there you go.
Go ahead, babe.
I was about to say that's where
What?
decatastrophizing comes into play. You know, with the 4 Ds.
Yes.
You know, decide, delay, distract. Oh, hang on, what is it? Delay, distract, decide, and then decatastrophize. Because if you put yourself into that catastrophe spiral and say this is the worst and I'm never going to stop, then that helps you in a way. It kind of eggs on the drinking or taking or addiction, whatever it is.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, because you make yourself more agitated, and you're almost setting yourself up
Yeah.
yeah.
for a lapse, you know.
So that's
Let me get
one
this straight. I wanted to get this straight, Seventh Son. Are you a year clean? Is that what you're saying? Is it Mama Tiara time?
I love Seventh. Seventh deserves tiara no matter what.
Yeah, you do. You do. You deserve a tiara no matter what. No matter how much
I'm
time, no
waving.
matter
You can't
what.
see me. You can't see me, but I'm waving very regal.
I do everything wrong on purpose. That's so that when I'm actually doing things wrong, you can't tell if I'm just joking or not.
Christy, I love you.
It is surprising sometimes, though, how hard it can be for us to forgive ourselves like we forgive others.
Oh yeah.
And
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So,
and it's yeah, it really is. I'm glad that Cosmic mentioned the downward spiral, because yeah, that is really something that's super easy to get trapped into. Well, oh,
Yeah.
I suck, so oh well, might as well. You can convince yourself, and we all do it. It's the thing. Even
Yeah.
successful people do it, and
Right.
it's just that they're better at hiding it. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah, well,
we
see,
all
everyone
hide
has
it.
a bad day, but a bad day doesn't have to turn into a full-blown relapse, you know. So,
right.
and that's where the decatastrophizing helps. You're just like, oh well, this is my day today. Tomorrow is a new day. I'll start again.
Yeah.
And that's it. Mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset.
Yeah.
I don't count mine anymore. My time, I don't, because it's every second, and I can't count the seconds. That's too many. And if I get so focused on so many years, then I get this complacency or this, you know, pride, or, you know, I've got this much time under my belt. I've got this whooped. And so instead of looking at that and saying I messed up, so I might as well just go on this run, like you said, Cosmic, just this day, from here on out,
Yeah.
it's back on. It's that mindset.
Yeah. And I think as Tommy, you only fail if you don't quit quitting or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Right.
Never
and really
quit
you only
quitting.
fail if you stop trying. Yeah.
That's right.
So,
I'm tracking with you, seventh son. You still deserve a tiara because, you are doing what you need to do, and a lost year is a lost year. I've lost a lot. I've lost so many years. I can't even count them anymore on one thing or another.
Yeah. I mean, I've lost years too. I didn't lose it that way, but my kids were little. There's 2, 3 years that I don't remember just from the medication. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's terrible. I mean, I just want you to know you're not alone.
absolutely
And look at
not
all the,
alone.
if you were to take all the people that you've helped, seventh.
Yeah,
What if we were to
seventh.
take the time that we were able to see that there was change and added that up?
Yeah,
That'd be something to, that's pretty
yeah,
something. That's a beautiful ripple that
absolutely.
just goes further and further out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And a chicken leg, Grace. Twinkle toes.
And it's
Chicken legs are
I love
wonderful.
this. I love this. Nothing is impossible with the right attitude and a hammer.
Right.
and
Chicken
some duct
legs
tape.
and duct tape. A little bit of scrap sometimes.
MacGyver some stuff up.
Turkey leg. Yeah.
Yeah, turkey leg.
How good is that? We could do it.
Throw in a little hobbit raid. Man, we're good.
Got everything we need
Conquer
right
the
here.
world.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel better, y'all. Thank you. Ooh,
I'm
that
so
was
glad,
wonderful.
Misha. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started doing a little bit of vagus nerve reset exercises.
Yes, the
And I
toilet of the
think
brain, the brain toilet.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to have a little bit less tension, in my center area, from the trauma. I'm not,
Right.
I don't feel like I feel lighter. It took a few days for it to really be noticed. But yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if it's a lasting thing, but I'll take it,
Right. Stacia had mentioned something also, and all these things that everybody's doing, we need to start doing like a little collective
Yeah.
of like a journal of things that are helping, and that way, because like when Stacia had mentioned that, I was really excited, but at that time there was so much going on, I wasn't able to go to it and do and make use of it. And it'd be nice to be able, if we have it somewhere that we could go to look back, that we could try stuff like that, because I would like to do this as well.
Right on.
That
Yeah.
there's a lot to the Vegas nerve. A lot.
Yeah.
Well, if people have Facebook, you can add it to notes, and I can add whatever's in the notes to Discord if people aren't on Facebook. So, because there's a notes section, it's easier than going through and scrolling through a whole bunch of posts. So yeah, you just add it to notes or files or something like that. Yeah. So
I was so proud of my Discord at one time, and then I got overwhelmed. I'm like, I want this bot. That sounds really cool. Or I want, oh yeah, that's good. Let's go ahead and add that one. Now, before you know it, I've got like 100 bots and I'm overwhelmed with it. So I just shut it down.
That's worth Mama's tiara. 17 years without playing with drugs. Even if not addicted, there was something in it that hit the reward center of the brain. I think that counts. Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that. Yep. I'm waving too. I just wave different ways because you have to imagine which way I'm waving. Am I waving like the queen? Am I waving like the crazy little kid? Yep.
I picture you waving like this.
That's exactly how I wave most of the time.
Hey, Jen. Yeah, that's how I wave to everyone. I'm like,
that's literally how I wave to people. I'm like, I wave with my 2 middle fingers. Like,
I like it when you're driving over here. You're like on the steering wheel, and I don't know. I don't even know why they do it. They just go. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
what the hell was that?
Of that. We moved from Edmond from the country club to the country, and he was so loving the fact that everybody waved down here, and so we had this really big curve. And I kid you not, he was so excited about waving. He was like, "Hey!" And then he just ran right in the curve and we had a wreck.
Oh,
Silly man. Silly man.
oh no.
He's
I
like,
love when you're riding on the back of a motorcycle and you do the wave, and it's just like the peace sign with your arm down.
Yeah, you do your arm back and you do the little peace sign. Yep.
You're just like,
Yeah.
and you know, you're just like, hey.
I got you. You're part of the cool club.
I don't wave at people in cars because I don't even pay attention to anybody around me that I like in shopping centers. I don't see anybody other than people in my way. That's it. I don't notice anything.
Yeah,
I tell you, people can get to know.
You can really convince people that they know you really easily. All you have to do is go up to them and just give them a quick eyebrow flash.
I do that a lot.
You can start talking to people and like, oh yeah. How are the kids doing? Oh, they're doing good. Where do I know you from? Oh, you don't. And you walk off.
I had people all the time whenever I used to go in public. I would be dressed in like regular clothes. And they would walk past the people that had the uniforms on at the dollar store, coming up to me and asking me questions, like, questions about products. And I would walk them over to it. I'd be like, this is on sale right now. This is what I totally recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, I do the one finger wave to my husband pretty periodically. Yeah.
The middle one finger wave.
This is what I do. I just go.
So what? Yes. I love.
If someone raised an eyebrow at me, I think I'd done something wrong. I'm like, what? What did I do? Because I'm
right on, Henny. Right on. I waved my finger at the front doors of Scientology in New York. Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Child trafficking, family destroying cult.
Yeah.
I do the British two finger. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So do I. If someone really annoys me, I let them know. I make sure they know that I'm really annoyed. So that's what I do. So, opposite of
They
victory.
didn't like it. I did. Yeah, you did.
Not sweet little Henny. Oh.
That's fantastic.
That's what I miss about technology, though, which you would think is kind of ironic because I know my face, but I miss the eye-to-eye contact and the actually being able to see, because so much expression, just not even with what we're saying, just in, like Christy's nodding her head right now, and I'm like, yeah, you get it. Yeah, just that interaction, and we don't have any. I mean, God gave me an eyebrow that is always raised, like literally, it's in like this high up arch, just one of them, and so it always looks like I'm up to something. And I used to work that. I can't work it because it doesn't really translate very well in pictures.
Okay.
I took a screenshot of one of the meetings one time, and the look on my face, and I showed Michael. Hey, we were in the Starbucks drive-thru, and he's just like, "What were you looking like that for?" Because I was like, what was that about? And I'm like, wait, there's a better one. And then I was like,
I wonder what was being said.
and I was like, I didn't agree with it. And he clearly,
right? That was me holding back.
I could never play poker. Yeah, everything's in my face.
Right? I know. And I try really hard to be mindful of that. And I try to do this sometimes, or, but that particular one, I didn't.
Well, apparently Ben jiggled, because I remember I was going to ask you what you were over there jiggling about, because Lord Fisford said he mentioned it. So I'm like, yeah, Do tell. What was the jiggling for, sir?
I think I was laughing at Lord Kiss Freak. I can't remember what it was that he said though. Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
One last night. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, I've got to head off quickly again because I only just I got home and then started this, so I'm gonna let my dog out and all that sort of stuff. So
Right on.
yeah, I love you guys.
Thanks for popping in. Love you
Love you
too.
too. Mwah.
Yeah,
Yay.
Love
Mwah.
you. See you tomorrow. Mwah.
Okay.
One day I'll get this right.
I gotta go too. I
Don't do
got
that.
the,
We're like, okay, bye.
right. See, she's kissing right there. Perfect. That's mwah. I love you guys.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, does everybody feel like they've had a meeting? We can do a meditation if you want, or if you need to go
Yeah.
check on a situation, then
Well, I can see the goats from here and they're calm, so we're good.
all right. Well, do you guys want to do some box breathing and a meditation? I feel like it's been forever.
Yes.
All right.
100%. Yeah.
So for those of you who are new, we like to kind of end with some box breathing and a little meditation. So because I can only count to 3, one time I said I'm going to do 5.
Unless we have to just pop off for whatever reason, which we have a lot lately.
Right. One time I said I was going to do 5 and I still only did 3, so we just always do 3. But breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale until all of the air is out of your lungs with a nice good sigh at the end. If you have a personal mantra or something positive, you want to do that on the inhale. If you've got something you want to release, do that on the exhale. And then we'll go into a little meditation. And when I'm done, I will say, whenever you're ready, open your eyes. So go ahead and start off first by shaking it off. Rolling your shoulders, rolling your head, just gonna get loose. And then go ahead and drop into your heart space. Whether that's placing your hand on your heart or envisioning a small version of yourself walking into your heart and sitting down surrounded by all of the love that you have in your heart. We're gonna go ahead and do 3 box breaths. So go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to take a moment and imagine yourself in a great big field with no fences, just tall grass and the wind blowing. And I want you to look around and I want you to envision your favorite animals running up to you, super excited to see you, wagging their tails, purring, flying, whatever they're doing. They're just so excited to see you. They're so excited that you're there. You run up to you and you kneel down and you let them lick your face and love on you. Take a moment to just soak in the joy and the happiness that fills your soul as these animals are giving you complete and unconditional love. Now, I want you to imagine that they take off, and they just start running, and you start running with them. And you're just running, laughing and giggling, and they're jumping all around. You're playing with them, running in circles, playing hide and seek, feeling very childlike. And then they run off into the distance, and you look over to the side, and you see someone that you love very much. someone who brings you joy and comfort, whether they're here or they've passed on. And you run over to them and you give them a great big hug. And the two of you look at each other and you share one of the funniest moments the two of you have shared. And I want you to take a moment and just enjoy that kind, free, laughing, inside joke feeling. And then they give you a great big hug. And they tell you that they're very proud of you. And then you look over in the distance and you see each and every one of us. And you run up to catch up to us. And we give you a great big hug. We tell you that you're so glad that you're here. And then we all, laughing and giggling, walk off into the sunset, knowing that our day is a little better, our path is a little brighter, because we know that we're not alone, and we have this beautiful chosen tribe to bring us joy, comfort, sit with us whenever we need it. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
When you were doing the thing about the animal coming up to you, Steve opened the door and walked right up, couldn't have timed it any more perfectly with 2 things of ice cream in his hands.
Steve, that's awesome.
Ah, I love those little moments. I live for those.
Yes, isn't it great? Well, I'm so glad I got to stay for the whole meeting today and
Yes.
had a seat.
Yay.
It was nice.
It
Ben, as
was
always,
nice.
it's a pleasure. And everybody in the chat, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks,
Take
Christy. Love
care.
you. You
Love
too.
you.
I gotta say, I do love how Talking Heads named one of their albums Stop Making Sense, because they were really good at that.
Yeah. 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 They I don't think it gets much more brilliant than Talking Heads.
You just keep talking about it. I'm not going to be alone, am I? I don't want to be a talking head. That keeps popping in my wooden head there. But I do hope you have yourself a most awesome
You
day, and
too.
I hope you're able to keep the what do you call donkey? What was his name
Yeah.
again?
Jet.
What was his middle name, or did he have a middle name?
Oh, we haven't real I just threw something up there that day. I don't even
Oh,
remember what it was.
okay. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to hear about his condition in a few days if that
Yeah.
happens. And you know what? Better him than me, and I'm okay with that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
For
I
sure.
do hope you have yourself a most awesome day.
You too, Ben.
Thank you.
Good meeting, y'all. I love how, sometimes we just kind of have to work our way into talking about something recovery, just and we take our time, and there's no stress. I am starting to really appreciate how we can start out, because I start to get a little bit like freaked out that maybe I'm supposed to be doing more toward recovery or something like that, but we get there and it's okay. And I am starting to rely on, we're it's all good. It's all gonna work out, and it's gonna be okay, Misha. You are beautiful and it's gonna work out. It's gonna be okay. Love you, Henny. Poor Jet. Yeah. Poor Edgar. Anyway, yeah. I love you guys. Hope to see you again next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.